What's up, everybody? It's Josh here with another Boston Celtics related video. And before we get into it today, I just want to ask y'all to please like, subscribe, comment, anything you can do to support the channel. But without further ado, we're going to get right into it. So today I wanted to get into the question, does Danny Ainge treat his players like garbage? This has kind of been a hot topic lately, especially with Gordon Hayward leaving. It's the Celtics' third big free agent signing to leave within the past 2 years for absolutely nothing in return. And a lot of people think that this is because, look at the way the Celtics treat their players. Look what Danny Ainge did to Isaiah Thomas, all that. I'm going to address all that in this video and tell you why it is a big, fat lie. It is false. It is misleading to say that. I think it's just Celtics hate. First and foremost, it's just people hating on the Boston Celtics, because pretty much anyone that's not a Celtics fan hates the Celtics. So I mean, that's just kind of what you're gonna get whenever like Bleacher Report or SportsCenter or one of these big pages post something about the Celtics. They'll be like, oh yeah, well look what Danny Ainge did to Isaiah Thomas. You know what, before I even get really into the thick of things, let's just go over the Isaiah Thomas situation once again, hopefully for the last time. People, they love to bag on Danny Ainge, saying, he did Isaiah Thomas so damn dirty, he just treated him terrible, like garbage. I just want people to just listen to this, okay? Isaiah Thomas played through his own injury. It was his hip. He injured it multiple times, and he always had the option to sit out. He played through his injury, okay? And Isaiah Thomas, he was damaged goods. The Celtics traded him to the Cleveland Cavaliers so he could go play with LeBron James, and they were a contending team. So it's not like Danny Ainge shipped him off to the freaking Charlotte Hornets or Sacramento Kings. It was the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's not like Isaiah Thomas was just left for dead. He traded him to a good destination, and on top of that, he compensated the Cavaliers. Danny Ainge compensated the Cavaliers for the Isaiah Thomas injury by sending yet another pick that wasn't agreed to in the initial trade discussions, just to compensate for that potential Isaiah Thomas injury being worse than thought. And then another thing to note is, guys, 10 out of 10 GMs would have made that trade, okay? He traded Isaiah Thomas for Kyrie Irving. Isaiah Thomas was not going to win a championship as the number one option on a Celtics team. And I mean, they didn't with Kyrie Irving either, but that could be a whole nother video, But the point is any GM would have made that trade. If Danny Ainge didn't trade Isaiah Thomas for Kyrie Irving, people would have been like, oh, well, Isaiah Thomas is overrated. That's what happens. Should have traded him. Should not have kept him. Shouldn't have paid him. So they traded him, and now Danny Ainge is a POS for trading Isaiah Thomas. Which one is it, guys? So many people have not gotten over that, and the funny thing is Isaiah Thomas himself has gotten over it. He still loves the Celtics. He still loves the organization. He told Danny that if he ever were to call Isaiah back about joining the team again, that Isaiah Thomas would accept it immediately. So, everyone but Isaiah Thomas hasn't gotten over the damn Isaiah Thomas trade. He understands that it is a business, and so does Danny Ainge. That's why he's in the job. He makes gutless moves, okay? It's just so stupid how only Danny gets criticized and literally no one else does for making these, gut-wrenching trades that fans would hate to see go down. No one says anything about Masai Ujiri whenever he traded away DeMar DeRozan in that trade for Kawhi Leonard. DeMar DeRozan was beloved in Toronto. No one said anything about that. You don't hear anything about that anymore. What about the Lakers and their front office? They told Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball, and I think it was one other one that I'm forgetting at the moment, that their jerseys would be in the rafters one day, only for it to be leaked that LeBron tried to trade them mid-season and then actually ended up trading them in the offseason. Yeah, you don't hear anything about that either. How about the Lakers trading Lamar Odom, and Lamar Odom said it literally made him go into a deep depression, and he started using drugs even more after the Lakers traded him. Yeah, you never hear about that. Why not? Yeah, because people only care when it's the Celtics. There's just so much player movement and stuff nowadays. Players aren't loyal to the franchise, and franchises aren't loyal to the players, but you can't just play both sides of the fence when it's the Celtics that are doing it and other teams that are doing it, if that makes sense. You can't just shit on the Celtics for making a certain move and then no one else gets that same criticism, you know what I'm saying? You can't do that. Players understand nowadays that when you sign your contract that that doesn't guarantee you're actually going to be there all 4 years. Do you know the percentage of players that actually stay for their entire contract? It's pretty low. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but it's pretty low. We're in the midst of a player empowerment era where players get to do whatever the hell they want, and we just have to sit back and respect it because it's their choice and franchises aren't loyal to. Like, that's just how it is, guys. Even before the Isaiah Thomas move was made, other players were already ditching their franchises for other situations. The KD move was made pre-Isaiah Thomas trade. LeBron to the Miami Heat was pre-Isaiah Thomas trade. Now, I don't want this entire video to revolve just around the Isaiah Thomas situation because that's only one example. But, okay, people like to say, well, look at why these other Celtics players are leaving the organization, like Kyrie Irving, Al Horford, blah, blah, blah. I can explain each of those individually. So first, Kyrie Irving, we all know the story there. At least Celtics fans know it because they saw it up close. Now, other people, other Kyrie fans and just other fans would be like, oh yeah, the media's just trying to make Kyrie look bad. No, guys, Kyrie has done this to 2 other teams now, and he is just he's a very, I don't know how to put it, but he's a moody person. Like, if he's not happy, he will do something about it. Like, Kyrie just was not a good fit here. He wasn't the only problem, but he was a problem. People that try to tell you that he wasn't a problem, that's just not true. Like, he was a problem. We all know why Kyrie left, so he left. Well, what about Al Horford? Well, Al Horford left because he got an insane, ridiculous offer from somewhere else. But another thing that a lot of people don't bring up that I like to mention along with that is Danny Ainge actually said in an interview afterwards, after Al Horford left, that he's pretty sure Al Horford wouldn't have left if he knew that Kemba Walker was coming in. Al Horford didn't know about Kemba Walker coming, and he says he's pretty sure that he could entice Al to stay for a little bit less money if he knew about that. But the timelines didn't work out. And then Gordon Hayward. I mean, the franchise literally did everything for him. They helped him rehab. They were super supportive. Him and Brad Stevens are really tight. Just the problem with Gordon Hayward was snake bitten from the start. He just could not stay healthy. He missed over half the franchise's games after he signed with them. Other players overtook his role. It just was not working. Like, he just wanted a fresh start. Like, you cannot blame him. There's nobody to be blamed in that situation. Now, do I give Danny a little bit of blame for not moving pieces when he could have? Yeah, a little bit. I mean, when all 3 of your stars walk like that in the last 2 years, like, it's not a great look, but it's by no means like Ainge shouldn't be fired. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, guys, like, Danny Ainge treated Jaylen Brown right. He's treating Jason Tatum right. Like, the thing with Danny is he's going to make a move that helps the franchise. A lot of people like to say, oh, he treats players like chess pieces. Well, I mean, that's kind of what they are, if we're being honest. Like, the GM's one job is to help make the team better, and if they don't win, they get fired. So why would he not make a move that keeps him from getting fired, even if it means breaking off from a player that did a lot for the city? Like, yeah, it sucks, but you can't just be like, Danny Ainge is a horrible GM for it. There's a reason he's in the job, and people with hearts are not. I just really get sick of the slander all the time, man. Danny Ainge is going to keep players that he wants to keep, and he's going to get rid of the ones that he doesn't want to keep, which is exactly what he did. Fans criticize him forever for holding on to pieces, for never making a big trade or anything. He gave up a Brooklyn Nets pick along with Jay Crowder, I'm forgetting one, Isaiah Thomas, all those guys. All of them went to Cleveland in that trade. That was a big trade. He finally made it, and fans crapped on him for it because Isaiah Thomas was in the trade, and they're like, oh my god, he did so much. Like, yeah, I mean, he did, but it is a business at the end of the day. Everyone else is already over the trade, excluding Celtics haters. Now, I will admit, Danny Ainge's move kind of opened up eyes around the league amongst players, and they would look over and they would be like, oh wow, this is what the Celtics are doing to Isaiah Thomas. Like, why would I want to go there? But, well, that's what the broad, like, generalization is, but that's not really how it goes. Like, players, they know it's a business, and, like, they know that Isaiah Thomas wasn't going to be the number one on a championship winning team. Like, yeah, it sucks, but it opened the floodgates for other teams to start doing it too. But people just want to criticize the Celtics, but it also opened the floodgates, and other moves in the past opened the floodgates for other players to move around at will and not show any loyalty whatsoever. So, like, it's just kind of, it almost feels like franchises, like front offices and players, are kind of in a standoff to see who. It's like an arms race almost. So that's just kind of the nature of the league. But You know, the Celtics hate just really has become odd to me, as you see it everywhere all the time. I don't know, guys. I just wanted to make a video on it, so let me know if you agree, if you disagree, why not. But that's all I got for today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, like I said at the beginning of the video. That's pretty much it for today, but I'll see y'all next time. Peace.